computer. All right. So welcome Patreons. We are in the after show with Kyle Mooney, Nicole Phoenix, Dave Ruff is here, as well as Travis Burns. I think he's still here.
I'm here.
Okay,
I'm
he's
here.
here.
Yep.
Great show. Thanks, guys. It was awesome.
Thank you. That was awesome.
I think
That was fun,
by
guys.
far and away, the most exciting part happened to be when we started. The one thing we didn't really talk about was traveling. Everybody got like super excited. I thought it'd be learning how to do a tandem, and but everybody wants to travel. So Nicole,
Yeah.
take it away.
Oh my God. Now I've been to Italy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before you
We
do that,
spent
Nicole,
10 days there.
Dave, can you hit the button at the top right, the speaker view, so we can see everybody that's talking at the same time?
Top right, enter full screen.
Where it says speaker view, gallery view.
There you go.
Okay. Go ahead, Nicole.
We've been to Italy, so that is a place that I would definitely like to go back. I will just say that wherever we go and wherever we stay, there needs to be gelato like nearby. I'm just saying.
Ha! That's
Um,
funny.
Lots of gelato.
But
Yeah, every time we
Yes.
were in town, it's like, you want to go to town? So we stayed at this house, and it was like we rented a Fiat. Or never rent a Fiat if you're going flying because you have no room for anything. But anyway, yeah, we got to town, and then after we got to town, there's 20 gelato places within, I don't know, a 2-minute walk. So yeah, gelato's everywhere.
We need to make this
oh yeah,
happen.
I know.
I mean, we need, whether it's Italy, whether it's Spain, whether it's Costa Rica, whatever. I mean, heck, I'm up for Australia. God, can you imagine flying the Outback? Oh,
No, I am
That
not
sounds
up
terrible.
for that at
Hot
all.
and a lot
No.
of deadly snakes.
I mean,
Yeah.
they've got snakes
no,
out
no,
there.
no, no. I'm not even sure about the Africa trip. I'm not even.
Oh
ooh.
man, could you imagine flying over
Well-
wild elephants, giraffes, and lions?
Wow.
Hey, I would fly over
we have a
that
good
all
friend,
day long,
Sebastian.
as long as I was in the air.
So Kyle and Travis, do your spouse?
Sebastian.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was asking, do your spouses go with you on the trips?
Why?
Well, because I'd like to bring my spouse, but I don't want to leave her in a hotel or a B&B by herself.
I mean, they could, but the answer is no, they have not yet.
I just thought of something, Dave.
Yes, sir.
Bachelor overseas? Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't it fun? I was in the service and did that once. Never again. Yeah, guys, I definitely want to get in touch. Kyle, I was telling Travis. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you remember me, but you helped me out with my my air conception. I was having carb issues. You and I got on the phone months and months ago, but anyway, it all worked.
Great. I'm glad I could help.
So I was telling Travis that here at the end of this year, I work for on the road, professional trick shooter and bow builder and stuff. So I get to travel the country, and I plan on coming down to Florida to meet Nicole and meet Rick and a few other people out there. And one of my stops is going to be over with you guys, come meet you guys and fly, because Rick really speaks really, really highly of you guys. And then this whole thing with the whole tandem thing started coming up. I've got a Polini 250 trike that they say it can be set up for tandem, but I don't know. And then you guys started talking about trips and stuff. Well, I've already wanted to. In fact, I was going to go on this Iceland trip, but I didn't get signed up in time. So it's like, well, heck, Costa Rica, okay. Spain, Italy, okay. So we're definitely going to have to talk to come down and do that.
Well, we'll definitely get in touch with you guys for sure. And before we, as we plan our trips throughout the year, we'll let you guys know first what's going on. We'd be
I gave you guys my number. Please put me in your phone. Yeah, just kind of keep me.
Yeah, me too.
For sure. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's my cell phone as well.
It's fun too because Kyle and I would, we love to travel with people that we at least have some kind of relationship with, like we do with you guys right now. It really helps it go smoothly, and like-minded individuals, you know, when you travel together, because it is. I mean, you become a family after 5 days of going through this adventure. Captain Crunch, what the heck?
Yeah, ask
What
David
is
about
that?
Captain Crunch.
You
And
asked me what was for dinner. This is it.
Oh, I haven't
I'll
made
be,
dinner yet. But
I'll be honest. Yeah, because if we do those trips, you know, like that, especially with people that we know, the hardest part about it, to be honest, is not the getting there and the food that we eat and the little things we do on the outside. It's the people want to do these trips because we fly.
Yeah.
Well, some people don't take it too lightly when we get out to the mountain and you can't see 5 feet in front of you because there's fog. And in Italy, that happens. You will get to the top, and if you walk more than 10 feet away from me, I can't find you because it's that fog or snow.
Kyle and I had to use the GPS at the top of the mountain to find the restaurant that was 100 yards away, because if he walked more than 5 feet away, I couldn't see him. It was snow and fog. It was, you know, but we had a blast. We sat in the restaurant and drank hot chocolate for 3 hours, waited for it to clear, you know, but it was fun.
Let me ask you something. So when we're overseas, obviously here in the U.S., it's not legal to fly at night. Do you guys make any night flights overseas?
In the Bahamas, we did.
Oh man, that was so dark. Holy crap. It was pitch. It was like 10 o'clock at night when we did that flight.
You
Well,
see
it was
where
dark
I'm
until
going
they
with
started
this,
shooting
right?
fireworks at you.
But yeah, that's true. There's a video somewhere of that. We were flying and they're like, yeah, you guys are going to be flying and all of this. And then, by the way, we're going to be shooting fireworks behind the stage. We're like, okay, cool. We got a couple 100 yards. And nope, we had a solid 30 yards. And there was fireworks like the
Big fireworks.
yeah, going off above the stage. And we're flying right next to the stage. So I'm just glad one didn't buzz off and blow up in my face. But aside from that, it was great.
Well, you see where I'm going with this. If we go overseas, you know, I might want to be part of my package to see if we could do a night flight safely.
Well,
We don't
I
have
do
to go
know
overseas to do that.
Because, you know, it's not legal to do here in the U.S. at fly-ins at all. So.
Well, no, I mean at fly-ins, you know, don't do that.
Oh man.
No, but there's plenty of places out in the Midwest where you can get away with that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can out here too.
Dave,
I was
you
at a
live
fly-in.
in the country.
What's
You
that?
live in the country. You have your own land and you live in the country.
No, and I know where the power poles are, and I know where the 5-acre lake is and stuff like that. And knowing me, I'm going to
Just
have
saying.
an engine out, go down right where the gator is, and get.
If you're gonna fly at night, I would recommend that you get those nice, like, put the LED lights all around your cage, so at least you have a little bit of ground reference. Like you need that so that you can flare and land. Without that, you'd be screwed.
So the funny thing about my cage is I've got lights on the bars, and then down below the seat I went down and bought 2 of those automotive LEDs, are about 6 inches long, and they're down below my seat, and they're kind of canted down, and that's exactly what they're for.
Yeah.
Fly a little past when you should, and at least you got some depth perception coming in.
Although it still is sketchy. Like, you know, Kyle and I have flown at Oshkosh at night. You know, it was sanctioned. It was under an FAA exemption. And you're still kind of like, yeah, like, you know, part of the, you know, when you're flying outside the pattern, you don't know what's below you, and you're just hoping you don't have a motor out because you can't see the trees or the power lines.
Yeah, sketch city, but man, what a rush.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt.
Well, the reason why I'm asking about it is, you know, obviously, yeah, I know you can fly at night here in the States and stuff, and that's as far as I'll ever admit to, but I would like to get video that I could actually post legally.
Yeah,
So,
I think you got to go to Mexico, dude.
Well, I'm in Texas. It's only a 900-mile flight.
You know, it's kind of, you guys were asking about the overseas. It's kind of funny how over there, like, you know, in the U.S. you go to a launch site, a pre-flight launch site, and most of them in the U.S. require, you know, they're really big on the ratings and having the insurance and being a USHPA member. Overseas, it's normal. You know, I went to the Coupe Car last year in France in September, and the guys over there, the schools in Saint Hilaire, France, they teach free flight. It's mandatory in high school. Most of the kids have already started flying by the time
I was
they're
gonna
6
say,
years old.
isn't it mandatory in like elementary? Or like
Yeah, most of them have, and it was really neat to see like these little, like I saw a little 4-year-old girl going down the bunny hill, and her dad was holding her feet, and she was flying
I
down the
saw
bunny
that
hill.
video. If it's the
Yeah,
same girl, it
yeah,
was
it's probably the same girl that Eric and I made when we were there, and it's just amazing that, and you wonder like why all the top pilots come from Europe, but that's why. You know, they live in the mountains. They start. It's like for us. I grew up in Maine, and we started snow skiing at 5 years old, and
oh, in
they all start
Alaska.
free flying. Yeah.
Yeah, in Alaska, some of the best bush pilots in the United States grew up in Alaska because they were flying well before they ever got their driver's license.
Yeah, yeah, and half of them don't have FAA certificates, but it's
Yeah,
Alaska, so who cares?
yeah, nobody cares.
No.
Yeah, I saw that video of that little girl. That was just really cool to see.
Yeah, it was very inspiring. Um, Pretty awesome. Whole different lifestyle out there. But it's very laissez-faire. Yeah, nobody's worried about whether you have a rating or whether you've got an insurance, and you know you can fly from anywhere. And so I think Cal and I found that a lot outside of the U.S. It's nobody's worried about that so much. It's
I'm
just
a I'm a freshly minted P3. I really haven't exercised it much. I only got probably, I don't know, under 6 or 7 hours as a P3 now. And yeah,
yeah,
you're right. I mean, you show up to a lot of these sites, you know, they want to know your rating, who your instructors were, how long you've been flying, blah, 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 before you can really set up. There's only been
yeah.
one or two launch sites. Actually, funny enough, Point of the Mountain was one of them where I just walked out there, read the sign, and signed the paper, put it in the box, and went and launched, and nobody asked me any questions.
No, yeah, it's sad. It's the litigation society that we live in here that
Yeah.
that causes that, I think.
yeah, because when you go overseas, I mean, there's nothing. They don't really care. It's a little different, you know. If I was actually worried about it, like when where the hell did we went to? Oh, when we went to Italy, I went and got my international driver's license because I looked it up for getting cars and all that crap. Yeah, completely worthless. I was like, hey, do you need this? He's like, no, we don't need that crap here. I was like, oh, really? I spent like 6 hours of one of my days doing this, but okay.
You know what's neat too is like I have way more, and so does Kyle, way more free flying overseas than we do in the U.S. I don't know how it is in the U.S., but all the launch zones that we've flown at overseas, like everybody's helping each other out. Everybody's like super friendly, super nice. We were the only Americans in Organa back in June, and it was kind of fun because everybody's doing the "Hey America," but
among a few other things.
yeah, yeah, amongst other things. But it was super fun. Like everybody like comes up and they share food. Like if somebody's got food, they share it with everybody and drinks, and it's just like an immediate family, even though you're just meeting all these people. And it's really really neat. I love the environment over there.
Oh, it
It's
sounds
awesome.
like good times.
Yeah,
Well, we'll definitely have to plan something. I'll be getting in touch with you guys here within the next month or two as my schedule starts unwinding and my time off starts becoming solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I did see you message earlier too about some, let's see here, you know, stalls, tandem certs, deep stalls, things like that. So, you know, I've been thinking about it, and you know, could I teach SIV? Yeah, you know, yeah, I could. But I don't want to teach an SIV on a motor necessarily. You know, I could teach certain things on a motor, but you know, free flighting, yeah, you know, I'd be confident in going, you know, teaching, you know, so like stalls and wing overs and things like that. But see, everyone says, well, you know, I want to learn the sat barrel roll or barrel roll sat and then stalls. And it's
No,
actually,
learn the stall.
it's a, exactly, you have to learn the stall first. You know, you first start out with asymmetrics, and then after you do asymmetrics, you do, you know, say you do a beeline, and then after that you do a spin. Actually, well, you do back fly or a stall, and then a spin, and then you know, you work your way over, because if the barrel roll or set goes wrong, you need to know how to do all of those other things. So, you know, it's just one of those things that people, they're like, I just want to learn how to do a barrel roll. I'm like, huh, congratulations, but if you screw it up, you're not going to know how to fix it. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really do you much good.
I was actually set to go to an SIV class about a month ago, but unfortunately my schedule changed and I had to last minute cancel. And unfortunately, the instructor that I gave my $950 to kept my money and hasn't gotten back to me because I've been trying to reschedule.
Mm.
in all fairness, on his website, it says, no rescheduling, no refund, stuff like that. And I'm just like, hey, dude, look, special circumstance, can we talk it out? He's not responding to me. So I've got to take a sieve because I've never stalled. I'm doing wing overs to a quarter to a third of my wing below horizon. And I know one of these days I'm just going to get the guts to punch it over, but I really don't because I don't know how to stall. And I know a stall is pretty much the reset button. Could I go out there and probably do one? Yeah, I've talked it through. I know how to do it. As much as I've been told how to do it, et cetera, et cetera. But you don't know what you don't know. And if you get yourself into a bad situation, next thing you know, you're a blood splatter. So I want to go to do a sieve.
Well, if you come out to Italy, whether Kyle talks you through it or not, there's a whole group of instructors that do SIV there in Italy as well. So it could be us or one of them, but it's a great place to do it because, like Kyle was saying, you got a 25 to 30-minute sled run, so you've got a lot of time to do lots of maneuvers. And they've got, I'd say, 3 or 4 different instructors out there running SIV every day in Italy, Kyle.
Yeah, they have several, and it depends on who's there too. If, for example, if one of the professional, all they do is their living acro pilots is out there, yeah, well, I'm going to take Tim Alongi or Theo de Blick or Horacio or Mile or one of these guys who do this for a living. And yeah, can I do it? And am I good at it? Yes, I am, but they're better. It's the nature of the beast. That's what they do. So, but yeah, you go over there, and even if, say, they weren't there and we were just there, I'd have no problem doing that.
Well, I mean, imagine a resume. Well, who did you learn your sieve? Oh, Kyle Mooney or Horacio. Either they're
well, Horacio's a world champion, so he's kind of got. I mean, I am not even in the same category.
Dude, I have seen you
Horacio.
take that wing and do things that would probably make me pee.
Well, fair enough, but you wait till you see these guys do some of the stuff that they do at 30, at 50 feet, and then tell me what you think.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Well, that's certainly something we can talk to if it's an Italy trip or anything else like that. I just know that my progression now is I'm getting to the point where I'm getting deeper and deeper in those wing overs, and I've been told that what's going to end up happening is I'm going to inadvertently do a barrel roll. I'm going to push it, and next thing you know, I'm doing a barrel roll. And I don't want to get to that point until I've actually gone through a sieve, until I've stalled, until, I've done a beeline stall, until I've done this type of stuff that, I've been working up to this myself. Actually, Kyle, you said it really good is, a student wants to do wing overs and stuff like that. Well, the first wing over I ever did, the tip wasn't anywhere near the horizon, but it felt like I was doing 400 Gs, and it scared me to death. And it's taken me about a year to really work to where I am now. And I know if I pull it hard, I'll probably do a barrel roll, but I'm just not comfortable doing it yet. Not until I've taken that Civ class. And I should be taking a Civ anyway. I'm a P3 pilot. I can go up, technically, I'm ready to go up in conditions that would probably scare the hell out of people, but I'm not going to do that until I've got more time under my belt as a P3. So it's just time.
Yeah. And anybody who says, you'll end up doing a barrel roll, for example. No, you never end up in those situations. It's always like you ended up in them because you went too big into that first wing over, and then you're like, oh crap, and people say barrel rolls. There is a safe way to do a barrel roll. It's actually a flat roll, because then you're never over the wing vertically. You're actually diving at the ground, and then when you dive at the ground, you spin. So it's actually like a flat roll. It feels like you're upside down. It feels like you're going directly over it. You're actually 45 degrees or a little bit 90 towards it. So there's no risk of falling in it. You just tend to get, you can get wingtip collapses, or if you really screw it up, riser twist. The danger is when you do a real barrel roll, when you dive at the ground like this, and then you roll over the side and you go over the top. And that's where the real danger lies. But, people just don't know. They just, like you said, they don't know what they don't know. And people are, and I honestly, I wish I had a pedestal where every single person who's interested in flying and who flies could just listen and just say, hey, if you want to learn this stuff, by all means, yeah, you know what, that's great, but please do it the right way. Like, get with people who know what they're talking about. And I don't care who it is, as long as they know what they're talking about and they're teaching you correctly and you're learning safely and you're not pushing it to a point of getting injured and having to throw a reserve. You know, to me, you know, people say you threw a reserve because, you know, you screwed up and it's a bad thing. No, if you threw a reserve and you just told me you threw a reserve, congratulations, you're alive. That's at the end of the day. But that doesn't mean it's okay. It means that you should learn from it and not. If you ever throw a reserve once, yeah, you should never throw a reserve for the same reason twice.
I've done one nose down spiral. It was free flying on my buzz, and I was in thermic conditions, and I kept on getting into the lift and then getting thrown into the sink. And it threw me into a 1.5 revolution. It felt like to me, I have to go back to the video, but it felt like to me that my nose was going straight down, and it twisted me. I remember G's just coming on, bang, and I hit the outside and got control of it and just wound it out, and it scared the hell out of me. And that was 3 months ago. You know, so you know, I'm not a low time pilot, but that's where I actually made the decision. No, I need to go take a civ. Because I mean, one, it's fun. I can build up to doing a nose down or a sat or you know, things like that. I want to learn how to do that stuff, but to be thrown in a position like that where I'd never been in one, it scared the hell out of me. I got out of it, but that just is telling me that I did something wrong to not be able to control it. And all I remember is how fast those G's came on. It was like nothing, all of a sudden, wham, and then
when your glider is at, you know, a 45, it's not really a whole lot. But when it starts getting to that 75 degree, 90 degrees, and 90 being flat on the horizon, if it hits 90 and you're not trained for it or you're not prepared for it, you got about a second before you just go lights out. And at that point, it depends on the glider that you're flying. If you're flying a Mojo and you're at 2,000 feet, realistically, it'll come out of it, or it should. But like my acro glider, for example, I've tried it and I've purposely screwed with it, and I put it flat on the horizon, and I pulled brake until it went flat, and I let go of everything. I just put my hands up, and my hands were still on the brakes. It didn't come out. I was sitting there in a flat down spiral, and it wouldn't come out. Yep, it locks right in until you do something, which, you know, I anticipated, so I was able to just pull it out of there. But, you know, people don't understand that. But there again, it's literally, it comes back to, you don't know what you don't know. People are pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, flying in certain weather conditions that maybe they shouldn't be, or flying wings. You know, there's these people that fly for 3 months and then they're like, I'm going to go buy a free ride now, or a snake or whatever. And I just want to walk up and just, like, you know,
slap them.
Yeah, but I want to do that, and I want to tell them that, but I can't do that without something like a something like a dick. You know, yeah. I want to explain it to them, but sometimes, depending on the person, you have to just be like, stop. Yeah, you know, so it's hard. It's hard to find that line, and you don't want to be that guy who's, you know, kind of the douche, but you don't want to be the, I wish I would have said something. I would rather say something and be the mean guy and they stay safe than not say something and they get hurt.
I've been in it now for 3.5, almost 4 years. I love the hell out of my A-wings. I fly a Velocity Core. That's what I fly. And then free flight, I fly a Buzz Z5. I've got a Rush 5 that I've never flown, although I'm too small for it. And I see a lot of the same thing. I'm actually now starting to take a look at a Colorado or a Sirocco too, because I feel like I haven't pushed that A to its limits, because obviously I haven't barrel rolled it. I haven't spiraled. Well, I've done some spirals, but they're not nose down. They're just probably 50, 60 degrees. They're not flat. And getting to the point now where it's like, okay, cross country, you know, faster wing, et cetera, et cetera. But I see a lot of these people, yeah, they've been flying for 6 months, a year, something like that. Like, oh, I'm going to go out and get, you know, the next fastest wing. And it's just like, why? You know, you're going to get hurt. When you pull that amount of brake that you used to, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah. Well, Colorado or Sirocco, I mean, I can't speak much to the Colorado. I know people that love it. I like the Sirocco more based on things that I've personally seen. Travis has experienced. I don't even know if Travis is still here. I think his phone died.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. He's had when we first had the Sirocco 2, he was flying it at the incorrect time of day, had a parachutal stall from about 50 feet. It corrected itself, and he landed without incident. You know, and I watched it correct it. You know, he was perfectly fine. So, you know, just things like that bring in a lot of confidence for me, seeing it do that. You know,
Yeah,
and
it's
yeah,
it's a fantastic glider. I flew the Sirocco 119 for about a year before I moved into the Viper and then the free ride. But again, the Colorado has a lot of. I haven't flown it either. A lot of good remarks on that glider. But the Sirocco 2 is also very confidence inspiring and just a fantastic cross country wing that inflates really nicely. It's easy to launch, very efficient for its size. And I think you need one size smaller than what you think you need in that glider
Yeah.
because it is so efficient. But it's also quite stable. Really nice glider.
Yeah, I flew a Colorado for about 10 minutes out in Arizona. I've never flown a Sirocco. And I wanted to get the Sirocco too, but it was like, no, if you're going to do cross country and stuff, go with the Colorado. It's supposed to be more efficient, more quicker. And then I hear a lot of people saying, no, the Sirocco and the Colorado are about the same, as far as for efficiency and everything else. So at this point, it's something that I'm looking at. Um, like I said, I enjoy my A-wings. I mean, heck, I don't know if you guys know Jeremy Conrad out in California. He's a free flight pilot. He's phenomenal P4. I mean, this guy is just awesome. He flies a Mojo. That's what he takes up. That's what he flies mid-afternoon. California thermals, stuff like that. That's what he does barrel rolls with, sats, everything else. He just absolutely loves it.
Ah,
Always
well,
say,
I like tonight. I flew the Mojo tonight before I came on the show. There was some vertical development, and I wasn't super confident in the weather, and we're in the mountains, so I went out and I flew the Mojo, and I had a blast. Um, I tell people I only fly two wings. I either fly the Freeride 15 or I fly a Mojo extra small. That's pretty much it. I don't everything I fly in between is just to test or to try, but on a regular basis, it's either end of the spectrum, and I truly enjoy flying them both.
I flew a Mojo Power for the first time about a week and a half ago with a 28 meter. I'm 210 pounds with the nitro fully loaded. I think I'm 265, 270, something in there. So it's on a 28 meter. It was slow,
Right.
but I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I
Oh,
put
yeah.
put the thing into wing overs and stuff like that, and it in my video you can hear me say it feels safe. It feels stable. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it's going to do anything. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved that Mojo.
Yeah, it's very confidence inspiring, and it's a glider you can feel comfortable flying in any weather. We had a guy about 6 months ago who called, and he was flying a Roadster B glider and was looking to buy a Sirocco. And I said, "Why do you want a Sirocco?" He said, "Well, I'm not really comfortable flying the Roadster so much. I don't fly it much. I only fly it in perfect weather conditions." I said, "Well, maybe you should think about an A glider. I mean, why would you want to move on to a C? It's going to make you feel less comfortable. If you've only been flying a B, then maybe get an A." And he did. He ended up buying a Mojo, and he called me back. And this doesn't happen often, but the guy called me back about 5 weeks later saying, "Thank you so much for that recommendation. I'm flying every day now. I'm flying the Mojo, and I
Yeah,
really enjoy it."
that's what like I said, I have a Velocity core, and that's what I fly. And I'm just now starting to get into it with the motor, with pushing it to 11, 12 o'clock, or before 3, 4 o'clock. I'm starting to get into that more mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
Get up there and get hammered, and this is like, okay, this wing is not going to do anything. The best I've had so far has been some tips. I have a Dudek Universal, old one. It's like 9 years old. It's still perfectly flyable. And that one I've had about a 30% collapse in some wind. And that sounded like a shotgun going off, at least as I remember it, a jerk. The A-wing, I brought that up into some really gnarly conditions, and it didn't let me down. Not at all. Little tiplets, and that's about it.
Yeah, they're awesome. Really fun.
All right, Dave.
Well, I'm going to go make my kid some dinner.
Sounds good, guys. Well, thanks again for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Glad we were able to get it to go.
Oh, no, I was saying, Dave, I've been taking up all the time. Please talk.
I'm tired. I've only had 4 hours.
I'm exhausted.
I'm good. Good.
I've been painting all day, so.
Yeah. And this guy's.
Hey, actually, one more question. And this was coming from Spring Hill. We were talking about it the other day. What do you guys use to put the logos on your wings?
So actually, you're gonna laugh. We use, like the vinyl stickers that you get printed that say anything that are like on your mugs. It's a vinyl sticker is all it is. So you can use several. So we use vinyl stickers, and that's what we've used for a very long time. And then you can also get it's called sailcloth material. The problem with sailcloth material is that it's super strong. It won't come off, but doing the transfer process from the paper to the transfer paper and then the transfer paper to what you're putting it on, it's a real, it sucks. Let me just say that. You don't want to ever deal with that. But if you use vinyl, the way I do it is use vinyl. You get whatever you want printed, and then you apply it to your wing. It'll barely stick to your wing at all. Like if you were to just put it on there and leave it, it would fall right off. You put it on there, you kind of pat your hand on it, and then I use a heat gun. I have a lot of experience doing it, but I use a heat gun. And if you take a heat gun about 6 inches away from glider fabric, it'll melt it. So I put it about a foot away, and I put my hand in front of the heat gun. And if it's too hot for my hand, it's too hot for the fabric. So I do that, and I run it along the vinyl until it starts to get really, really gummy, and I smack it down so then it sticks to it. And once I do that to the whole thing, my free ride it's about 2 years old now, and I have the same logo on it from the day we got it.
Wow.
I'd always wondered about that. We were talking about that the other day down in Springfield of how to do that.
Yeah, everyone's got their different things. Like Todd's got a brand new glider from Ozone. He's got a Spider 3 that has the Independence Fund on it. Actually, I don't even know if that's public yet. But anyway, he's got one. And he got that glider.
Public now.
Yeah, it is now.
Yeah, he got it custom. It's a fully custom, so it's actually in the fabric.
I see. All right.
But
Strike Flyer logo or something and put that on my wing.
Yeah, you can just go to I don't know, Amazon or eBay and
Dave, I can do that.
Yeah, if you got a vinyl cutter.
I have the vinyl and I can cut it. Yeah, I can cut it and I've got the vinyl.
Cool.
Use a hair dryer. Don't use a heat gun.
Are you using permanent vinyl, or like what type of vinyl are you using?
That's a great question. Give me a second. Vinyl.
I'm sure it's not heat transfer, but because that you'd actually have to put. Right, so it's probably permanent.
It's like the outdoors. It's like the stuff that you get that you put on like car windows. Like you get a car window sticker and it says like a decal sticker. It's the same exact stuff. It's on the white paper and it's got a transfer sheet. You peel off the transfer sheet. It peels a sticker on it. You stick it on whatever and you peel the transfer sheet off. That's all we use.
We buy it from a U.S. Cutter.
Yeah.
From U.S. where?
U.S. Cutter.
Okay.
Yeah,
then I've got it.
Yeah, it looks to be like outdoor vinyl.
I've got some. I even have it in holographic.
You're gonna want it bigger than you think.
That's sorry.
You're gonna want a logo that's 18 inches tall by 5 feet long if you're just doing like trike flyer, for example. But it depends, because you think it's going to be huge on your wing when you're putting it on, or you think it's going to look big, and when you get it on, you go kite it, you're going to go, wow, that's a tiny logo.
Yeah, it's like nobody can see it. All right, good deal.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, guys.
Yep, I think that's it.
Go outside.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Have a good
night, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.